Good morning, Kevin. Oh, yeah, we have two Kevins, Kevin Brand and Kevin Wickard. Good morning, Kevin and Kevin. Andrea, good morning. Debbie, good morning. Morning, Merry Christmas. I hope you and your family have the best day ever. Oh, thank you, Debbie. I really appreciate that. I hope you and your family are having a wonderful day, staying safe and warm. And Merry Christmas to you too, Andrea. Evo, good afternoon. 4 p.m. in Scotland. Good afternoon, Scotland. It is. I don't have my cell phone with me. Oh, that's right. I have that. I have on the computer. It is 8:01 here a.m. Happy birthday, Jesus. Yes. Very much, Andrea. Diana, good morning. Merry Christmas to you and your family. It is cold here this morning. I'm going to wait for some more people to get in here, and then I'm going to do a review of my YouTube channel, what I planned on doing last weekend, but everything kind of went to out the door with everything. But it is I wanted to get it done anyways. But Kevin Brand in South Carolina is supposed to be in the 20s tonight. Wow. Right now, don't have my cell phone on me, but I would guess that it's right here, right today. Probably about a half hour ago when the last time I checked it, it was probably 30 here. Good morning. Drama must remain on the stage. It is 29 degrees in Georgia. Oh, yikes. Yikes is right. Good morning, Short and Nice. And Merry Christmas to you, and Drama must remain on stage. Good Merry Christmas to you both. Sorry. I've got another window open, and I'm reading the chats on another stream that happened this morning. Pay attention to my own. Close this. All right. So I want to do a channel review. This might bore the heck out of a lot of people, but it's only going to take a couple of minutes. But this is a review of how my channel did in 2020, even with the everything that was going on in the world. This is how my channel did in 2020. In 2020 alone, I had 23.9 million impressions. That means that there were a heck of a lot more people who saw my streams or my posts and watched them than ever subscribed. It's not good. I had, of that 23.9 million impressions, I had 21.85 million people view my total content. And let's see, that's a 42% increase over 2019. 79.4 views from returning, 79.4% of the views and those who watched my content were returning non-subscribers. That breaks down to 48.25% of all watch time was from non-subscribers. Good morning, Deb. Deb Briggs, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Merry Christmas to you and your family, Deb. Left-handed RN, good morning. North Carolina is 33 degrees. Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to you too. And staying down in the holler, good morning, Cece. And by the way, Cece, I watched your entire stream the other night. I jumped in right about the 10-minute mark, right about when you were discussing the highest grossing Christmas movie, The Grinch of all time. But I was in the middle of, I was peeling eggs, hard-boiled eggs, to make deviled eggs. So I was watching it and listening, but I just couldn't participate. But I was there. I was there the whole thing. So I'm sorry. I just couldn't jump in and say hello. It's like the one point where I actually got to, while after peeling all the eggs and everything, I was gonna jump on my laptop that was sitting on the counter next to me and say hello to everybody, but at that point I think we were at the 27-minute mark or 26-minute mark. So sorry, but I was there. I had a lot of fun, listening to it and the trivia questions. Thank you for doing that. I really appreciate that. For all, Merry Christmas to all. And if you guys see a moth fly by, I've been trying to catch this stupid thing for the last 3 days. Sorry about that. Love the new studio. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it. I think the trivia answer was wrong. It all depends upon how you look at it. I actually, after you were talking about that, and somebody put up that Home Alone 2, or Home Alone had outgrossed it. It all depends on how you look at the actual numbers themselves. Box office numbers or sales of DVDs. If you take the total metrics of DVD sales and box office, The Grinch outsold Home Alone. And it is the correct answer. It is the highest grossing movie of all time. Box office alone, well, Home Alone takes it. But it all depends on how you look at it. I mean, you can show that one made 285 million, the other one made like 301 million or something like that. But The Grinch did definitely outsell total worldwide box office. So and sales. But it's neither here nor there. It doesn't really matter, does it? Tim Flanagan, good morning. Merry Christmas to you too, Tim. I hope you and your family have a wonderful Christmas. Drama must remain on stage. Merry Christmas to you again. Now you've been so good to me, and I appreciate you. I highly respect you. Well, thank you very much, CC. I respect you, and so many others as well. And I really, really bothers me that you don't have more subscribers, because you and Leave It to Beaver. I just can't understand why you guys are both under 3,000 subscribers. If there was anything I could do to get you over 3,000, because I mean you should have 300,000 as far as I'm concerned. Both of you. You do amazing content. Hey, looky there, who just slid in there. Good morning, William. How are you doing, sir? And I'm sorry I haven't gotten back to your last message on Twitter. I thought that I had replied to your last our back and forth conversation. I thought that I had replied back, but apparently I must not have hit send. But William, we're gonna have to do that soon. I'll message you back after this stream. I promise I will. That's my bad. But Merry Christmas, William, to you and your family. I hope you are all safe and warm, and you guys have a wonderful day today. Holly Berry, good morning. Love CC and subscribe on your recommendation. Well, thank you, Short Nice. I appreciate that. Snowy Photography, good morning. Merry Christmas to you too. All right, so I'm going to get back to finishing up this channel review. Demographics wise, from those who are watching my content and those who are subscribers, the numbers are pretty much the equal and the same for subscribers and non-subscribers. And you might find this interesting, or maybe you don't. A lot of people who are not really into true crime would find a lot of this with the breakdown of this that's coming up next shocking. But 82.5% of all my content, live streams, videos, everything, and then you throw in merchandise purchases, PayPal donations, all of it together, everything. 82.5% is women, are women. I know how to English. Apparently not very well this morning. I need more coffee. Only 10.5% of all my content is ever watched, supported by men. And that's the breakdown. Now, I'm not saying that men are not important. I mean, everybody's important. I was kind of surprised that it was that high. And here's the actual breakdown. Of that 82.5%, it breaks down like this for women in age demographics. 36.15% of all support and views and everything, subscriber and non-subscriber together, is from women ages 55 to 64. I got me some cougars out there who love me. And 25.5% are women between the ages of 35 and 44. 3.1% are women between the ages of 25 and 34. Apparently, I'm not very loved by the younger groups out there, but I'm not surprised by that at all. Under the age of 25, between 25 and 18, it's less than 1% of all my content is ever viewed or watched or supported by women between that age group. Let's see here. I agree with Merry Christmas. Amazing Lover says, I'm good, bro. My nephew got a lot of presents. It has been an amazing Xmas morning. I got a lot of gifts myself. Oh, that's cool, mate. William, I hope everybody in your family stays safe and warm, though. It's a twisted world we're living in today. Deb Briggs, Holly Berry. Yep, I'm 56 today. Well, happy birthday, Deb. Holly. Holly Berry's birthday, everyone. Wish Holly Berry a happy 56th birthday. And if everybody could move a little bit closer to their microphone so we could sing Holly Berry, a happy birthday. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Holly Berry. Happy birthday to you. That's the best I can do. Sorry about my raspy voice. All right. Ooh, Amazing Lover is going to be 25 in March. Happy birthday, Holly Berry. My mom is 77 today. Well, happy birthday to your mom. Short and nice. Okay, so back to the channel review really quickly so I can finish this. There's only one little part left of my actual content that I put out in 2020. All my videos and live streams. This is all together. 63 of the 169 videos and live streams I did. Yeah. 169 videos and live streams. 63 were deemed to never be monetizable by YouTube of that 169. 4 videos were removed permanently from YouTube. They decided that that content is not only not monetizable, but cannot be shown on the channel. And all 4 of those videos have to do with law enforcement and they were not anti-law enforcement or Leo. They were talking about the difficulties and the suicide rate amongst officers and officers who deal with PTSD. They permanently removed 4 videos. I re-uploaded those 4 videos after they were removed, and they took them down again. 3 videos I had, this is not counting in the 63. These are on top of the 63. 3 videos I had received 19 bogus copyright claims. They either tried to copyright the music that's in the intro or outro of the videos, and that music actually comes from YouTube's own system, from their free audio, music system, and they're copyright free. But and I won every one of those, obviously, because all I had to do was reply. Here's where the music came from. YouTube, I can't believe you're even doing this. But every one of those videos that got copyright claims, all right, I got no monetization from it. They held that into an account separate, and then once the claim was finally deemed in my favor, they finally, I think it took 3 weeks for them to give me my monetized money, the money I earned from that video. 16 times I was reported by someone for making content that was harmful or detrimental to minors. Either somebody would jump in the comment section after a live stream and they would say, "Hey, I'm 14 years old, love your content." What they're trying to do is they're trying to say, look, now that I know that they are, I'm in violation of the COPA. This is how stupid people are. They say, well, you're in violation of COPA. You saw the comment or replied to the comment that I'm 14 or 13 or 10, and so therefore that your content is being reached to minors. They think for some reason that as soon as I knew that I should have taken my content down or restricted it. That's not how it works. But 16 times I was reported for making content that was harmful to minors. All right. Oops. Put that over there. Put this over here. There's a lot of people out there that just really don't like people to be happy. They're miserable inside, and they just want other people to be miserable as well. And, you can call them whatever you want, trolls, idiots. I prefer to call them both the same thing. Short nights on 46. I didn't hear my age demographic. Let's see. 20 short nights to answer your question. That's the top most of my content is 36.15% is consumed by women, or supported by women in the ages of 55 to 64. The second category down, second largest, 25.5% are women between the ages of 35 and 44. So your age would you would fall in, where were you at? 46. So 46, you would fall. I guess technically I didn't write it down. You're right, because I skipped that. That was a total 11 years, I guess, between 44 and 55. I did that. That was me. All right. Because I don't like to leave any stone unturned or answered. I'm going to look it up. I'm looking it up right now. Go to my analytics, audience, 365 days. Okay. Women in your age group, short, nice, 45 to 54 was 22.1%. There you go. There's your answer. So just right around 20%. Short, nice. Happy birthday. Oh, thank you, Tim, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you and your family, Tim. This is interesting, dude. You break this down, or do they do this for you? Deb, YouTube has all this analytics. Every channel creator out there can do the same thing. Break down the percentages and the views, the durations, and all. There, you can go down a rabbit hole, Deb, on so many different numbers and analytics, and you know that guy that's over across the sea, metadata man. The metadata man, even he can go into this, and see it. It's all it is just data on where your channel is and how your channel's doing, so you can figure out, what. I don't know what you do with the information. A lot of it. I mean, I don't make content for just one group, demographic or area. Oh, thank you, Lieutenant RN. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. But and I'm surprised by some of the numbers myself when it comes to just how much of my content. Now, what I was saying before I started, that unless you're a real big true crime buff, you would really be surprised. And I was really surprised to some point. I mean, I knew that this entire genre of true crime is a female dominated genre. There are way more channels that are controlled and hosted by women than men. There's probably, just off the top of my head, maybe a dozen and a half channels that I know of that are men. And the majority, a whole lot more, we're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of channels that I've looked at and watched video content from are women. And it's always been even before YouTube and the internet, when you take true crime novels and dime store, true crime novels and stuff like that, it's consumed mainly by women. Now, I'm not a psychologist. I don't know why, or I don't know what the breakdown there is, but that's just always been the way it is. And I'm sure that there are other areas of content that are consumed more by men. I don't know. It had to be a man who thought up the idea of rubbing deer piss on themselves to go hunting. Only a man would think of something like that. I don't know of a single woman that would spray deer piss on themselves to go hunting. I know some hardcore, females that are into hunting, bow hunting, and alike, but I've never seen them spray deer piss on themselves. But maybe that content like that is consumed more by men than by women. I don't know. You're listening and cleaning, CC? So, Christmas today. I am having, see, there's 17 people who are coming over for dinner today. Uh, Dinner, we're serving it at 3 o'clock. I'm doing a 20-pound turkey and two hams. The hams, I don't know what the weights are, but they're good size hams. I'm making honey hams, two honey hams. Those are going into the smoker here at 11 o'clock. They've already been in the oven. They're in the oven right now, and they're being partially cooked. And these are bone-in hams, spiral cut. So those will go in the smoker to finish, and then the turkey will go into the oven. But the 17 people who are coming over, half of them are my sister. All her kids are coming over today. Got a couple distant relatives who are in town who are coming. Will be here later on. They're staying at a local motel. They didn't want to. They interact with a lot of people around the United States. They travel, so they didn't want to be here until after they got their COVID testing. And they were all COVID tested before they got here. Everybody that's coming in, we're checking their temperatures as they come in the door before they can come in. We are social distancing as much as we can in the 3,000 square feet of the home that we can be in. So we're doing everything we can to abide by the requirements, even though we're not supposed to have, according to my governor, who is a moron, not supposed to have any more than 5 people in my house at the same time. Well, my wife, my daughter, my son, that's 3. That leaves me with 2 possible people to have over for Christmas dinner. Not going to happen. But I've been cooking and baking for the last 2 days. My wife made homemade pumpkin pies last night. My daughter made cherry pies. The apple pie, which unfortunately didn't turn out for some reason, that my daughter made. We got to figure something out here this morning. Or they're scrambling to try to find a grocery store that's open, because my son's favorite thing is apple pie. So we have to find an apple pie somewhere, or at least apples. If we can't find an apple pie, find apple somewhere so we can make an apple pie. Holly Berry, and we're doing everything that we can to make sure that we don't have a super spreader event, and we're taking all the precautions we can, sanitizing down the areas, and between people being here and where everyone's going to be. My mother-in-law will not be here today. She has been exposed to COVID, and the part that really sucks is she can't be within 6 feet of my father-in-law, who again is still very much alive, but she can't be anywhere near him because of his health conditions. He would be devastated if he got COVID. But she was definitely exposed by a coworker who tested positive, which is kind of a sad situation in itself. The coworker knew that she was possibly exposed to COVID, but she couldn't take time off of work. She's a single mother who is trying to just keep her head above water right now. And as the government fights over if they're ever going to help out again with additional unemployment benefits and stimulus packages and everything else, she still has to find a way to put food on the table to feed her 2 children. And so she went to work even after she knew she possibly was exposed. She wasn't feeling ill. She wasn't even running a fever. but she did later on after her shift, and she went in and she was tested, and sure enough, she had COVID, and she was in a closed lab. It's a small lab. It's like where I guess they do some kind of processing or in either stuff is either coming into the lab or it's going out of the lab in this area, and it's like 15 by 15. And she was within like 3 feet of my mother-in-law. And so the likelihood is my mother-in-law has now probably, gotten COVID. And even though they are frontline healthcare workers, we had just on Thursday received the first doses of the vaccine here, and it hasn't gotten around everywhere. The first people who got it were nurses and doctors in the hospitals. They got the first dose. The second dose, shipment of the COVID vaccine came in on Thursday. So that's supposed to go out to the those who work in labs and other areas within the healthcare industry. And then third is going to be school teachers. So Kathy Saunders dealing with it, the rest of us following instructions. Yeah, it's the best you can do. Cover the apple pie in cream. Is it Lebby? Sorry. I mean, a cough into the microphone there. I'm sure that if anybody's wearing headphones, that really bothered you, and I'm sorry about that. Oh, you ever made a pie with Ritz crackers? It tastes just like apple pie, I swear. No, I've never made I've never made a pie with Ritz crackers. And that's one of the things that we went through this entire thing. And I don't even want to get into the total budget of what we spent for this entire meal, because there's a lot of things, between so we having the hams and the turkeys and the dressing and potatoes, and the green bean casseroles and all these other side dishes, and there's relish trays and cheese platters. We bought everything, and it was like midnight last night. We're sitting there and we realized, we didn't buy any crackers. Nothing. We have cheese platters and meat platters, a little sample, cut up the pieces of meat for people to, make, little cracker sandwiches and stuff, snack on. And we bought Cheese Whiz, and we bought all this other stuff for crackers, but we forgot to buy crackers. But lucky for us, we called my mother-in-law, and she just happened to have Ritz crackers. And this is why I bring this up, because she had Ritz crackers. She had the chicken and a biscuit crackers. She had like 2 or 3 other ones that were in her pantry. So we, wiped the sweat from our brow on that one. We got lucky that she just happened to have that stuff. So we went over. My wife went over to her mom's house and got the crackers. And for dinner rolls, we're making all the dinner rolls from scratch. All the dough is proofing up in the kitchen right now. It's a system, it has to one thing comes out of the oven, the other things are going into the oven. And we have they're convection ovens, so there's a bottom convection oven, and I have a side by side on top unit convection oven. So and we didn't have the 2 ovens. It'd be very hard to make all this stuff and do it all and have it all out at the same time. So we're going to make it work. Lynn P, peace to all. Very, very trying time. Have the best Christmas possible, folks. Lynn, Merry Christmas to you and to your family. I hope you have the most enjoyable Christmas, holiday you can. Stay safe out there. Welcome to the stream. Gayla, good morning, Gayla. I hope you are doing well this morning, Gayla, and Merry Christmas to you. Um, we did that once trying to find Christmas dinner when she and her family came down from Rochester, New York. I had fixed a big pot of stew for Christmas Eve, and she and I were going to the store. Yeah, but the only thing that's open here today is convenience stores, gas stations. There isn't much open. And I stopped in the gas station last night to fill up my wife's car because well, that's the way she always borrows me her car. She's like, "Oh, you can take my car to the store." And I get in the car and it's like bing, 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 and I look at the display screen and it's like, "There's no gas in your car," and I'm like, "Oh." So then I go to this, go fill up the car, but I filled up at the pump, paying with our gas card, and then I went inside the convenience store to get, I think it was a coffee. It was about midnight, and they didn't have any hot coffee. Everything would have been the last pot that they brewed was at like 9. I'm like, it's midnight. Who the hell's going to drink coffee? If it's cold. If you make it and it's hot, people will drink it. They will buy it, but they're not going to buy it if it's cold. And the lady actually told me, she goes, "Well, you can put it in the microwave." But I mean, people are cleaning out their shelves. They're buying loaves of bread and, canned goods and last minute things, they forgot at the store. Of course, I did at that time. It still didn't dawn on me we didn't have crackers. Yum. Hey, people, have to eat. Just be as safe as possible. So sorry to hear about your mother-in-law was exposed. Does she have the autoimmunity probes? No, autoimmune probes. Well, I mean, did she get the rapid test? She doesn't have any immunity to it. Nobody really has immunity to it, and they're just now finding out that there's a very distinct possibility if you don't get the vaccine, even if you've had the COVID virus, they're still not sure, according to the last research we read, that there's still a chance that you can maybe get it again if you've had it once. And that originally they were thinking that people who were exposed to it couldn't get it twice. But did she have the rapid test, which looks for the antibodies or the antigens or whatever the hell it is? I'm always wrong about this. I always mean it's supposed to be testing for the antigens, but are the antibodies. But I always get the two mixed up. But either way. She did have the rapid test, but she will not get the results for that until Monday morning, unfortunately, because everything here is so backlogged, and what they can't get done here locally, they are flying out to another lab that is 145 miles away, I want to say. And matter of fact, that what they can't fly, they were driving, and one of their couriers last night was actually involved in a head-on collision, and it's on a two-way highway. I guess the guy in a car coming the opposite direction came over the line. He's all right, sort of banged up pretty good, but he will survive the courier. The gentleman who came over the line was drowsy, wasn't drunk. But it's still, it was his fault. And he, I think, broke his ankle or something. I would have to ask my wife again about that accident, but they're going to live. But she has been tested. She will not get the results until Monday, which doesn't help her at all for today. So, but I have a bunch of these to-go containers that I bought at Costco, and they have, I don't know how to explain it, but they're 3-compartment things, and they're like a clamshell case. But I've got some of those, so I'll put together meals for both of them, and then I'll bring them over, and distance deliver them, put them on her porch, and then she can come out and get them while I back away from the porch. But we're going to do our best to make sure that they don't, go hungry. I'm personally afraid to get the vaccine. I just don't know if they know about enough about it. Deb, it's been as tested as possible, as much as possible. Um, and I was on the board on the fence, I guess, like you, and not knowing if I wanted to get it or if I should get it. But since I've already had the COVID, my doctor suggested that I wait, and let the other people who can have more adverse reaction, not reverse reactions, but those who are more at risk, get the shot first. But you have to get two. You have to take them a couple weeks apart. So I, and when it comes right down to it, I'm probably going to have to do it myself, and that's just because my mother-in-law, my wife, my daughter, they all work in healthcare. And the last thing I need to do is, get sick or get it and then give it to them again, or something like that. I mean, I never gave it to them the first time, but excuse me. So yeah, I know, I understand a lot of people are worried about that, but I think that, when it comes to the pharmaceutical companies, they're going to do their best to make sure that there are no adverse reactions to this. Yes, it was speed line. My wife could go into that a lot more about what type of actual vaccine this is. I know it's not like a normal vaccine that I know it has to be shipped frozen, but when it comes to stuff like that, I'm completely lost. I wish I could answer, say more about it than that. Well, but we didn't. My mom lives with us. She was so upset she didn't get her ham. We ended up having to go to Mexico grocery store. So we had Feliz Navidad. Sorry about that. I can't turn those are that chime you might hear. Those are notifications for I have another tab open. I just minimized it, and since I didn't close it, we're going to get notifications while I'm live that of comments of people or what's going on that channel. Every time, it's not even my channel, but every time somebody comments on that channel, we're going to get one of those little dings, notifications. Nurse Bev. Let's see here. Our son is coming home for Christmas, but there's a crazy snowstorm and he can't make it home. So he's in a hotel room alone. Our daughter, Sil, and grandkids live 2,000 miles away. Oh, I'm sorry, Nurse Bev. Well, I hope that you have a Merry Christmas as much as you can. Snowy photography, Ritz crackers, score bits, sweetened condensed milk, yummy, yum. I've never heard of that before, but that sounds great. I mean, I don't know if I would eat it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of sweets. I might have a little tiny sliver of pie today, maybe. I don't know. Worst Christmas ever? I'm sorry. Cece, we haven't done our gift exchange yet. My son is still asleep. He probably won't wake up until about 9:30. But Santa brought my little son. They brought him a lot of stuff. I'm not saying that I'm spoiling him, but I am. When it comes to like normally for our family for gift exchange, it's mainly about the children. We might give each other one or two gifts, and that's about it. Between me and my wife. For my wife for Christmas, I bought her exactly what she wanted. I had a whole list of things that I wanted to buy her for Christmas, and she said no. And she told me on no uncertain terms, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, and this is what you're going to buy me, and this is what what I need. And I said, really? I mean, that really takes a lot of the surprise factor out of it. But she's happy, and I don't know. There's an IV infusion for those autoimmune probes. One gets instead of a vaccine, has to be given in the first 10 days. It's done at the hospital. Insurance may cover it. If not, it's $300 plus. Wow. That doesn't sound great at all. Good morning, Didi. Merry Christmas, Didi. I hope you are doing well this morning. I'm having some coffee and pumpkin cream pie. I'm having some coffee and pumpkin cream pie. Okay. I'm not a fan of pumpkin pie. I mean, to each their own, that's right. Sounds good. Is it like a creamer you put in the coffee? I don't know. Or is it pumpkin? Is there a difference between pumpkin pie and pumpkin cream pie? Thank you. Trying to get by. Alone today. My son and the only person I have seen is quarantined due to possible exposure. I'm sorry, Lynn. Lockdown as of tonight at midnight here. Ooh, sorry, Nurse Bev. Good morning, Pokemon Go. Hi, everyone. Now I like this channel even more. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I hope you have a wonderful day today. My sister got corona in early January, but no one was talking about it. The doctor said it was the flu. She flew from New York to Florida that week and got all of the sick kids, grandparents, and her coworkers. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Didi. That sucks. Well, I hope she's doing better now. I mean, from January to now. I know a couple people who've had really long-lasting side effects of the coronavirus. Overall, I guess I'm lucky in that aspect. Long-term effects. I mean, I already had damage to my lungs from years of smoking. On top of that, when I was in the service, I ingested flames in an explosion. So, and then after I left the service, I've been a smoker for a lot of years. So, yeah, I already have damage to my lungs. But did the COVID do any more damage? It's kind of hard to say. But I know people who have long-lasting. They got it back in March, and April, and they just haven't been the same. One guy I know who he's run I think 25 different marathons over in his lifetime. He just doesn't have the lung capacity to run anymore, and there's a lot of scarring in his lungs from the COVID. So it's going to adversely affect his life and his hobbies from here on out. I mean, he's in his 50s, so it's definitely going to he's trying to figure out what he's going to do next from here. He'll make the best of it, though. Carolyn, Michelle Dunn, Merry Christmas. No shot for you. Well, Carolyn, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and welcome to the stream this morning. I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I don't want to get it, but at the same time, because my entire family is in the healthcare industry, I think I'm more obligated than anybody else to have to get it. Good morning, Linda. Merry Christmas from the white snow covered Minnesota. Yeah, it is true. I was chatting with my sister this morning. She's in up in the Stacy area. Yeah, I'm not sure if you know where that is, but yeah, she's got a lot of snow up there. Your day is peaceful, full in one, and all in chat. Well, Linda, you have a very Merry Christmas and stay safe and warm out there. And thank you for joining me today here on this stream. He was 4 at the time and was having breathing problems for months. He still does ever since. Oh, I'm sorry, Didi. That's got to suck. I would hate for my son to get it, and he this many. He that many. Tells me that. It's cute that listening to him. Yeah, because he's speech delayed, and it wasn't until 6 months ago, if that he had maybe 3 words, 4 words, that he spoke constantly, and it wasn't all that clear. And then now he don't stop. You can't. You put the boy to sleep. Even in his sleep, he talks now. Yay! Cinnamon, hot, hot, hot. I'm confused. Like you say, your people get vaxxed, so why not? Why would they be a risk of you being unvaxxed? A threat. I'm trying to figure out what the vax is for then. Okay, cinnamon, hot, hot, hot. All right. This is just me in my situation. This does not go for the rest of the world. The reason why I feel like I am obligated to get it is just because say like my mother-in-law gets the vaccine, my wife gets the vaccine, my daughter gets the vaccine. If I get it, if I was to be exposed and actually get the coronavirus again, now I've already had it once. I mean, I had the coronavirus and it was not fun. And they get the vaccine because they work in the healthcare industry and they work with people who are immune compromised, who are end of life care, and they don't want to get it and then give it to your loved one or her loved one or his loved one or whoever's loved one. They don't want to give it to somebody else. That's how it keeps on spreading. Is we have to find a barrier to stop it, and that's what the vaccine is going to do. It's going to stop it. Those who are at the most vulnerable from getting it. Why would I get it? Why would I personally feel like I need to get the vaccine? So I don't know how if I was to get it, can I give it to my wife, even though it would not adversely affect her because she already had that vaccine? Can she get it and then give it to other people on top of that after she's had the vaccine? I don't know. I mean, if my wife was here with me right now in the stream, she could answer all those questions, and they're very viable questions. I don't know. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to be the one who, gives it to my father-in-law who can't get the vaccine because of certain health conditions that he has. He can't get that. So there's no way to to give the vaccine to my father-in-law. If I was to get it and I gave it to him, it would be death, it'd be like a death sentence to him, and because of, where he's at in life and health-wise. At the same time, I have a lot of friends who are in their, let's just say they're between the ages of 60 and 99. I have a lot of friends who are in that area. And let's just say that they decide that because of the information that's out there, that it's 95.9 or whatever number you want to use, over 90%, that survival rate, they decide that they're not going to get it. I get it, and then I expose them, and then they die from it. How would I personally feel about it? And that's where I'm at. I'm on that fence right there on the edge. Like, I don't want to be the person who gives it to somebody else because I interact with other people. I don't just sit in this tiny little studio and protect myself from the world. So that's that's where I'm at. Mentally, I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do. I mean, I'm my wife, my mother-in-law, my daughter. They definitely have to get it. And so I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air. It's like I don't want to get it. I don't think I need to get it, but and my doctor, I asked him directly, should I get it? And just like all of this, there's so much that is unknown. And it's not that they're lying to us or they're withholding information from the general public. You have to understand the last, thing that like this, the Spanish flu, that was what 100 years ago. I mean, not like there was, everybody wrote down and said, okay, this is how this affects everybody. This is how, this is going to work. And with the way the world moves today, you could have, what we could, in the middle of all this, like we already know that there are two mutations that have happened. One is in the UK, and I can't remember where the other one is. I want to say Australia, but it could be wrong because nothing bad comes from Australia. But those mutations are if you get the vaccine, are you immune to the mutation? And just like the common cold, and that aspect of only the virus mutates, and just like the cold virus, it mutates, it changes. We could spend all this time shut down everything else, do all this stuff, and then get everybody vaccinated for the COVID. And then next year, we could have an entirely new COVID strand breakout and be completely immune to everybody who got the COVID shot. That is a real possibility. That's why every year they have a slightly different flu shot that everybody has to get because it constantly mutates. That's how the little buggers work. Viruses are fun. Yay. This year has not been good for most of us. Fact. That is a fact. But I'm so very thankful for all the small and unnoticed things of my daily life. Thank you for the joy and update info from all my YouTube fam. Well, thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. And I let's not forget the little things when it comes in life, like you were saying. You and staying on the cases that you've been on, and what you are doing is a great benefit to the community and everybody out there. If you haven't checked out Linda's channel, Not My Verbiage, you need to go check out her channel. And if you like the content, don't forget to give her, subscribe to her content. She does some really good work over on her channel, and she's a hoot. She is a hoot. You cracked me up, especially some of your older videos. Sometimes when we all get those days where we're just not, feeling into life, and I don't want to say depressed, but it's just like kind of humdrum. There's channels that I like to go to and just watch, live streams or just listen to what they have to say. I'll listen while I'm driving, somewhere. Kind of like, people listen to audiobooks. I listen to podcasts. I listen to, YouTube channels. And I don't watch them while I drive, obviously, because that's not safe. But I go over and listen to Linda on her live streams, and stuff. I really did. I thought for the longest time that some of the YouTubers out there who are doing live streams, not just you, Linda, but a lot of them, a lot of channels. I swear, I thought people were taking a little nip here and there while they're doing their live streams. But go check out Linda's channel. Pokemon Go. My two brothers live in another country. I hope they keep safe from the COVID-19. I hope so too, Pokemon Go. Hope you stay safe as well. Pumpkin cream pie. It's better than pumpkin pie. My wife, the pumpkin pies that she made, Cece, the pumpkin pies that she made are her grandmother's, not her great grandmother's, but her grandmother's recipe. I don't know if they're like kind of like the standard pumpkin pie. They don't have sweetened condensed milk in it that you'd buy, get in a can. You basically make your own sweetened condensed milk, and you have to make it so it's like a 4-step process for her to make a pumpkin pie. It doesn't. It has heavy cream in it, and I know there's nutmeg, cardigan. It's I guess for those who like pumpkin pie, they love it. That's why she has to make 3 or 4 of them at a time. She already made 3, so she'll probably make 3 more later on today. But they love it. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't like sweets, so. It affected your lungs for sure. Yeah, it definitely wasn't something that I want to do again, Linda. COVID. Speaking of destroying your lungs, smoke them if you got them. Merry Xmas. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. And that is absolutely true. And I don't want to say this, but I do. I always worry about anything when it comes to a vaccine or anything that is rushed. And when you skip clinical trials and a lot of things like that, I don't trust certain things like that. And again, I don't trust big pharmaceutical companies at all. Joanne Smith, good morning and welcome to the stream. I am legend. Robert Neville, Will Smith, a brilliant scientist, is a survivor of man-made plague that transforms humans into bloodthirsty mutants. That's cool, Joanne Smith. The vaccination won't help with mutations, Will. Yeah, see, that's the one I'm worried about. It's not going to, and so we might go through this entire thing for no reason. I mean, for no benefit, and not for no reason, but I mean, Carrie, Merry Christmas to you. Been missing the lives. Been missing you, Will. Well, thank you, Carrie. I'm glad you could make it this morning. I hope you and your family have a Merry Christmas and a safe and happy New Year's. Making a Murderer. I covered one case, and she covers it very well. Lori Beth, Gave up cable TV because you're always on YouTube. Well, we don't have cable TV. We use the internet, and that's all we pay for. We don't have to pay for home phone anymore, especially after all the crap that took place. But that's all we have is internet, and we've had the internet is everything and anything you can watch on cable TV. You can watch on the internet. You got a husband or somebody who likes sports and they think they can't get it on the internet, they're wrong. Everything is streamed on the internet now. You can pay $22 a year for certain streaming services for sports and watch all your favorite live sports. Don't think you can get it that way. Let's see. Let's use the state of Minnesota for example, because Linda is in Minnesota, and I'm still reading Linda's comments. But say you live in Minnesota and you want to watch the Twins and the Vikings play when their game is played, even if it's blacked out on television. So what you do is you sign up for go to NFL or Major League Baseball fantasy sports, and you sign up to join a league. Don't ever do anything with the damn thing. You can completely ignore the fantasy, sports aspect of it. But every single week, they stream every single game live for fantasy sports, for people who are in fantasy sports. It's right there. And it's free. Now you can't get live NHL games or NBA games. That is true that way, going through the fantasy sport options. But you can play fantasy golf and fantasy rugby, and you can watch it, watch those live. But you can't do NBA and NHL. No, none drinking free, but it can be added. It can. If you think of it. Cardamom. That's what she puts in there. Cardamom. What did I say before? Carrie. Sorry if I said something. If I said the wrong thing. Hold on. I'm trying to stop this stupid banner. There we go. Woohoo! So I had to take a break in the stream so I could actually go over and turn that thing off. I don't cable TV at all. It is. We realized a long time ago, we had cable television and then we gave it up for satellite. And then we sold our house when we bought a new home, and they couldn't find our home. They kept on telling us over and over again. This was DirecTV. DirecTV told us they could not find our home. And we're like, well, how can you not find our home? They're like, well, it doesn't exist. And we're like, the house was built in 1944. The street has been here since 1942. How can you not find the home? It's on Google Maps. I can send you a picture of the home. And they're like, it doesn't exist. Because on their end, it didn't exist. But I think they were probably using Apple Maps or something. I don't know. But we gave it up completely, and we stream everything online. Will, did you resub to me? Yes, of course I did, Linda. Yeah, I noticed this morning that I was going to go check on a couple of channels to see if they had done any any updates or new videos. It being Christmas and all, I didn't know if they were going to post anything this morning. And they're over the international date line, so here it's Friday. They'd be Saturday there, and no, they weren't even on my subscriber list anymore. So I had to go in, which is fun, and then trying to remember how to spell certain channels names. Some of these channels that I follow, they don't make it easy. They use random numbers and letters and words, and or it's where an E should be, they use a number 3. So if you don't type it in right, YouTube, can't find it in the search engine. It doesn't bring up any results. It's like, damn it. So, yeah, people make it hard and to find their channels and stuff, but I found them all and resubscribed to them all. But I don't know, it has to be a glitch in the system because it made me unsubscribed to at least a dozen that I can. I'm hoping there's not more. But I have my channel up now. Go to channels. Yeah. So, Linda, to answer your question, if you go to my main channel, the homepage, and there are a series of tabs: home, video, playlist, community, membership, channels, and about. If you click on the channels tab, you're right there. You're one of the channels that I recommend to anybody out there that is interested in true crime. The channels that I recommend are obviously True Crime Loser, and then Crime Talk with Scott Reich, Legal Eagle, Coffee with CC, Red Rum, Leave It to Beaver, Not My Verbiage, and Living Well with Schizophrenia. Those are the only ones that I recommend right now. I have to go back in and I can add, I think, 4 more. And then it's limited until I get to 100,000 subscribers, and then it will unlock and give me 10 more. So it'll let me recommend 10 more channels. But at least that's what it is right now. But they're going to change that, I'm sure, somewhere between now and then. Yeah, you are one of the lucky ones, Linda. There are a lot of channels out there that get a lot of hate. I don't think there's a lot of hate, and trolls that bother Scott over at True Crime Loser either. But I get my fair share here, and I'm sure Cece gets her fair share of trolls who pop in every once in a while on her channel as well. I'm sure Red Rum gets them as well. But I don't know about Leave It to Beaver, but they do like to jump in and cause trouble from time to time. Blue Bell, good morning and Merry Christmas. I wanted to make sure I say hello and Merry Christmas to you and Happy New Year, and welcome to the stream this morning. I didn't mean to not say hello. I was reading the comments just above and below yours. I was getting to it. I swear. A nurse called Tiffany had a vaccine shot on live TV, and she passed out in a few minutes. I just read she died 10 hours later. Wow, that's awful. Yeah, they're going to be a certain percentage of people out there who are going to have an adverse reaction to this. And the rest of this, what I'm about to say, is a joke. But think about it. So in 4 years from now, you're going to see commercials on television and on the internet that said, did you get the COVID vaccine? You may be, eligible for compensation if you had any of the following. That's a joke. But I mean, that's how our world is. I mean, anything and anything that everybody does as, together for the better. Did you drink water in last 12 months from a bottled water from this source? There was nothing in that bottle of water that was harmful to you. But if you did, you may have drank too much of it and had adverse effects. And those adverse effects could have been excessive urination, feeling full, and whatever. And then there's some attorney out there somewhere that's going to try to file some class action lawsuit to sue, the manufacturers of, clean bottled water. That's just the world we live in. You can't do anything Did you breathe the air between this date and this date? If not, you're dead. But if you did, there might be compensation for you. I make fun of it, but there are ambulance chasing lawyers out there that are going to sue the hell out of everything. They're already suing because they feel that certain people were slighted or didn't get medical attention fast enough. I see it here locally. People, XYZ didn't get a hospital bed. They didn't have COVID. They just felt sick. They were tested. And it proved they didn't have COVID, but they didn't get a hospital bed because those beds were being taken up by COVID patients. XYZ didn't get that hip replacement in time. It wasn't life-threatening, but they weren't able to have the quality of life for, four more months. I know they needed a hip replacement for 17 years, but they had to wait 4 months to get the hip replacement. So they're suing the hospital because, that excessive, pain and suffering. The 16 years prior when they needed the hip replacement don't count, but it was that extra 4 months. And so they're suing the hospital. And it'll basically come down to one insurance company will settle with the attorney or whoever, and that dries up. They have to pass that cost on to everybody else. That's how you get the $100 aspirin in hospitals. That, with what's called the charge book. Good morning, Smith Shoes. Merry Christmas. I hope you are doing well. And if I don't see you between now and New Year's, I hope you have a safe and happy New Year's as well. I'm sure we'll run across each other over on Chatterbox, is plural, Chatterbox's channel or somewhere. But welcome to the stream this morning, Cement Shoes. I hope you and your family, loved ones, have a wonderful holiday. I get to spend Christmas making end-of-life decisions for my dad with COVID in the ICU. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, Robin. I really am. Let's just hope when your father does go, that he goes, and he doesn't suffer, and the pain has been relieved. And that's really tough, and my heart goes out to you. Nothing yet on the death of the nurse who got the shot, huh? Well, I know people I've seen people pass out and getting blood tests, or giving blood. Just a moment the needle went in, they're out. USA Today reports false rumors of nurse death. She is alive and well. Well, maybe you can have a DJ night with Tim on New Year's Eve. That would be awesome. I can't do that anymore, Cement Shoes. That'll never happen. I can never do a night like that where I play music, with Tim or without Tim, because of the agreement that I signed, the non-competitive agreement with the people who used to run the Inebriated Truth podcast and channel. And since I'm taking over that January 1st, the agreement goes back 2 weeks prior. From that point on forward, I can't do any more streams like that at all. Me and Tim could, sit here and have a nighttime stream if he was in town, but I'll never be able to do that again. I mean, either that or I give them back the their podcast and channel and everything else, and all their physical equipment that is stacked up over. I got like a dozen tripods, lights, soundboards, equipment, everything. I bought everything that they had, the rights to it all. But part of the agreement was a non-competitive agreement that I would not compete against them in the space or area that they are currently doing. I give them probably about another year before they're gonna fail miserably, because they are running their ship in a. Want to be nice about this because I don't want to get in trouble for what I'm about to say. They have no direction, and there are too many. What's the saying? Too many cooks in the kitchen, I guess. It's like half the group wants to go this way, the other half the group wants to go this way, and none of the five can agree on anything. So I give them probably another year before they're going to fail, and then I had my attorney read over the non-competitive agreement that I signed. If they do fail or shut down or cease operations, I would have to get them to sign that I can compete in the space that they were in for and do the type of content that they had. But there's a lot. I'm just giving you like the Cliff Notes version of it all, but there's a lot more to it than just that. Yeah, I'm gonna miss him too. I mean, Tim's gonna miss him. He really enjoyed doing those streams. But I don't know. I've asked it. I asked my attorney if there was any way to around it, and he can't think of anything because they had their attorney write up the agreement. It wasn't something like we got on a piece of notebook paper and we wrote it out. It was all done through legal channels. And overall I got a really, really good deal on everything that I purchased. I get 2 well-established podcast channels and the subscriber of those. I did not buy a YouTube channel, so I'm not in violation. You can't sell a YouTube channel. You can't gift a YouTube channel. You can't trade a YouTube channel. There are people out there who have very much have done that, but it's against the terms of agreement for YouTube. And I'm going January 1st. I'm actually starting the YouTube channel for that podcast and everything. And I'm going to rebrand everything, the channels, the podcast, all of it slowly into one. But it'll be separate from this completely. The content and all of it is different. So Think Media will allow the truth. I don't know what Think Media is. That a media source? I'm not familiar with Think Media. I mean, if that is a source, I'm not even sure if it is a source, or maybe you're saying, the media won't let you think for yourself or tell you the truth. I don't know. Dover has an underlying health condition that causes her to faint when she experiences pain, per USA Today. Nonetheless, some users on Facebook have claimed that Dover has died. Oh, that's sad. When people do that, I always wonder if they really think about the family of the individual. I mean, maybe you guys remember a television show that was on a long time ago called Barney's Miller, and there was an actor. He did some comedy, but he was mainly more an actor, and he did vaudeville, and he did some movies, and he was reported to have died I think 16 times, Abe Lagosa. But Abe was, in the tabloid magazines, news programs, Entertainment Tonight, CBS News. I mean, mainstream media to all the way to down to internet. Kept on reporting him dead, and he actually, the first couple times it was shocking to him that everybody kept on reporting him dead, but he actually, towards the end of his life, he actually really did take it, and said, this is kind of funny. Everybody thinks I'm dead, but I'm not. That's something that cement shows. That's something that we've actually looked into, is because it would be closed off and it would not be streaming to an area where it would be in a competitive nature with them. That is something that I actually had, and am having my attorney look at if we did it on Patreon, or if we did it in a venue where um, it didn't compete for in the same areas. But it is something definitely that we have looked into, and I haven't gotten back to him recently. It's been, well, a week now. Well, last Monday, no, it was Monday. Monday, I talked to him. I would have to figure out how to. I'd have to figure out cement shoes. I'd have to figure out how I would stream that though, because I'd be using YouTube to stream it, but streaming it to Patreon only. I think if I, as long as I did it that way and then made it for Patreon members only, I wouldn't be competing. You would think that'd make sense to me, but I'm just a moron. I don't understand. I don't understand the law. That's why I have those. I have Scott Reich and Legal Eagle on my channel, and whenever I'm trying to understand a legal issue, I look to them first, and then I reach out to people I know who are actually in the legal field. Excuse me. Yeah. Oh, I understand that. Yeah, your point of Smith shoes. Would, but then I don't want to be, accused of only doing streams for profit. So people would have to become Patreon members in order to actually watch it. So people would think that I'm streaming just for profit. I don't want to. There's a gray area there. I don't like, but I mean I understand it, and I'll look into it some more. Hmm. Interesting. I'm sorry. I was reading. I pulled up the article on Reuters news service about the nurse who supposedly died of COVID, and the title of the first article that's attached to it is a nurse struggled with and passed out after COVID-19 shot, was found dead in her car. And that nurse that died in the car, that passed out. There's actually several different articles about different nurses. That nurse died of an overdose, because this person was no longer able to attend their 12-step recovery program, and overdosed in their car. But it has the same title. The next article, Tennessee nurse rumored to have died from COVID has not died. Tiffany Dover, a nurse managing at Chattanooga, Tennessee, faded on live camera December 17th while being filmed by local news outlets receiving her first dose of the vaccine. She was one of the first initial 6 staffers to receive the vaccine. After getting an injection, she told media she felt dizzy and then collapsed, with the doctor catching her fall. She has, in fact, not died. She is very much alive. Um, According to, when was this posted? December 21st. So 4 days ago. She's very much alive. Her statement is, I can't believe that people believe that I died at CHI Memorial Hospital. I'm very much alive, and I assure everyone that I'm back to work and I'm feeling fine. I do not understand why everyone is spreading rumors that after I faded, that I died later on. I'm doing fine. Where do these rumors come from? I don't know. A short while later, I felt a little disoriented after getting the shot, and started to faint. I was caught from falling completely to the ground, but I, have a medical condition, and this is her own statement, in quotes here. I have a medical condition that makes me feel lightheaded whenever I feel a sudden onset of pain. She went on to clarify that she has not made any social media posts or anything to let people think that I have had any kind of adverse effects from the shot in any way at all. That was as of the 21st. Will, there's this funny channel I found called Pre-Law Dropouts. He has only about 2,000 subs, but he is so hilarious. I'll look into it. I see you. Good morning. And Merry Christmas. I see you. Well, you're in the UK. Do you guys celebrate Christmas on 20 on the same day? I'm not sure. I should probably know this, but I don't, obviously. But either way, happy holidays to you. I hope you are staying safe and warm out there in the UK today. And welcome to the stream. But that is the article on the 21st of December. Tiffany Dover. What's the next one? The next one is a nurse from Florida. Rumors of a nurse from Florida who supposedly received the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine has died, and actually had never received the COVID-19 vaccine. It was initially spread on social media that she died of complications to the vaccine. She works at a hospital that has 173 beds, and she posted on and did a Insta video. I don't know if that's supposed to be Instagram, but it says Insta video that she was not going to be getting the vaccine, and her work put her on temporary leave of absence and gave her she decided to use her sick pay and vacation pay, and is traveling to see family for the holidays. A social media post later was posted that she had died because she did not show up for work. But they believe it was by somebody who used to work with her at that local hospital in Florida. And then there's another article about from another nurse who is making wild accusations about the claim that the COVID vaccine actually gives you COVID. Yeah, it doesn't. But oh well. Christmas humbug. Anaphylactic shock. I don't know. It doesn't actually say if it's anaphylactic shock or not. I see you. Well, at least not her actual statement. I mean, I guess I could read the entire article, but glad you clarified the nurse Tiffany died thing. Yeah, she is very much alive. Social media is a big game of telephone. Like telephone tag? Yeah. Well, I heard this thing about this lady who died, but she really didn't die. Yeah. Well, that's the world we live in, though. The confirmational bias. A lot of people believe that, and they hear one thing, they're like, okay, that's got to be the truth. Instead of doing the research into it, or even pulling it up on their, we have a mini computer in our hand, so often throughout the day. People could pull up the article and read it for themselves or research it. Just put it into Google and search it. I mean, but they don't. They hear it. They believe it because somebody told it to them. Well, pre-law drop outs. Outs or plural? Oh, singular. Singular. Pre-law dropout. I'm sure I'll find it that way. Oh, yeah, I haven't read or looked into any of those cement shoes. I avoid Christopher Watts coverage as much as possible. Oh, and trust me, not a day goes by that somebody doesn't send me a link to another article, another statement, another blog, something out there that somebody said somewhere about Christopher Watts, or Chris Watts said this, or this is what's happening to Chris Watts. I get it daily. It comes across my desk every single day. And most of it, I don't even bother to click on or read. And I'm sorry. It's just I'm tired of hearing his name, reading it, but I understand that the fascination for the world out there. And every once in a while, something does come across my desk. I mean, I'm not telling people to stop sending it to me by any means at all. It's it doesn't interest me, and every once in a while, something does come across it. It's like, maybe there's something there, and then I'll start looking into it. And a lot of times, I find out that it's completely, undocumented. It's unprovable. And content wise, I can't do anything with it. But I think it's absolutely funny in a way right now. Everybody's still talking about that he's going to get a new trial and he's gonna get out of prison someday. And I'm like, oh my god, you guys are it. It. Excuse me. I don't want to say that people are just stupid. It's You never understand just how much Americans in general have no idea what the legal system here is and what it pertains. And so much of it is online, and you can read it for yourself. To watch somebody who obviously doesn't know anything about the American justice system talk about it in such a flippant way. I'm picking my words here. That's why I'm stumbling. I'm not having a brain drain, but the information when it comes to Christopher Watson, him getting a possible trial, we'll just say this, is the information is out there. He's never going to get one. If there was even an inkling of a chance of him ever getting one, we'd all know about it. We would have seen it because all the information is out there. There's only two avenues for him ever to get a new trial or to get a reconsideration for his sentencing. And there isn't anything there. Hoffa will be found alive and well in South Florida playing Baccarat before Watts sucks free air again. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny, Cement Shoes. Yeah, they used to think that the Hoffa was buried in the end zone of the Jet Stadium, but we know that's not true because they've dug all that up, so he's not there. Jimmy Hoffa. How old would Jimmy Hoffa be today if he was alive? Yeah, you'd have to be in his 80s, right? I'd have to think he would be in his 80s or 90s if he was alive today. If maybe older, I don't know. But either way, they probably dropped him off the side of a boat somewhere with concrete boots. Dead. He'll get out dead, Laurie says. Yeah. Who's Hoffa? Jimmy Hoffa. Yeah. He was the head of the Teamsters Union. Older than 90s. Well, yeah, I figured he had to be up there, Laurie. Hoffa hasn't been seen here in South Florida as of today, anyways. That's funny. Yeah. I mean, think about it. Every year there are thousands of sightings of Elvis Presley. Every year. But of course, the sightings still look like from the 1970s Elvis Presley. But people think that Elvis faked his death, so he could live a normal life. I don't know why you'd need to do that. All you had to do was just stop making music and keep his millions. But people think that they see Elvis Elvis is dead? Is he? Are you sure? I'll have to look up and see if I can find some news reports on that. That's interesting. How people they want to see certain things like that. Alive and well. Elvis is dead. No. Robin says Elvis is alive and well. Probably lives in Florida. If I was Elvis, I'd live in Florida too. I mean, I'm not Elvis, so I don't live in Florida. But it's more of a soothing environment for him. I would think that if he was going to move somewhere and he was going to fake his death, a good place to move would be like Memphis, Tennessee, or Alabama, someplace in the South. You would think that Elvis would be more at home there. That's where he grew up. He ain't gonna fake his death and then move to California. But people think they see him working in convenience stores and all different kinds of places. I did meet a gentleman once who looked a lot like Elvis, and he was actually going by the name of Elvin. He was working in a 7-Eleven. Your first language is sarcasm. Sasquatch? I see you. I've actually been watching a lot about Sasquatch, the Bigfoot, the stink ape on YouTube. I've been watching Survivor Man with Les Stroud. He just uploaded all of the Survivor Man episodes on YouTube. I mean, and I think there's a dozen different ones of him, hunting for around the United States for either the stink ape, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, or some version of it, all over the stories. I mean, but you think about the Bigfoot though. Interesting question. The thing there is Sasquatch is the recordable accounts of Bigfoot are not something that is a 20th century or 19th century accounting. Natives who were here long before a white man came to North America had stories of the Sasquatch. And he was I'm trying to think of I'm not versed on the culture as much as I should, but he was revered. He was something they knew of, and it was not something that that was used as a scare tactic. It wasn't like, hey, keep your children close because you never know when Sasquatch is going to come take one. But and then coming back to when people landed on these rocky shores, here in North America, the first settlers, there are reports of Sasquatch or something along that line, what it's supposed to be Sasquatch, Bigfoot. That were some of the first reported stories, came from them when they came to and landed on Plymouth Rock. There are some very well and documented cases from 1821 that document entire villages stumbling across or seeing or having an interaction with a Sasquatch, or Bigfoot, whatever. I mean, there's so many different names for it. I believe in Bigfoot. Ancient tales about it. Yeah. I mean, it's really interesting. So I started watching, Survivor Man. I liked the Survivor Man. I liked his original show where it was him and his wife and his children, striking off out in Canada and trying to make it go of on a homestead, off the grid living. And stuff like that just kind of interests me. I don't get to watch it much. I don't have the time for it. I don't have time for television either. But I was watching. I saw him that he started posting all the episodes of Survivor Man from him surviving alone and then he uploaded all the Bigfoot searches from all over the United States. And I was like, cool. So I started watching them. I think I've watched 4 or 5 now. They have bones, teeth, and hair. And that's the thing that the hair samples, the most documented hair sample they have, has been tested multiple times and has come back every single time to an unknown species. DNA profile, all of it is every single one of them. The testings that they have allowed that have come through, every one of them's come back unknown species for the hair. Doesn't match any primate that has ever been discovered. And so you kind of have to ask yourself all right, yeah, maybe it is, all made up stories, people are dreaming these things, whatever you might want to say to discredit the individuals who are reporting it. But when there is evidence out there that they just cannot explain, science can't explain. How is it possibly that these people have found hair to an animal that has no, genetic tree to anything we've ever seen before? And where did this hair come from? They found it in a forest. I think it was in Canada. They found it on a barbed wire fence. So. And then people are like, well, the forest, man, people have traveled throughout the entire forest. Yeah, if it was out there, people would have found it by now. Nope. I was shocked to find out that when it comes to especially in the western part of the United States and Canada, going up that way, all the way up to some of the Inuit villages. Most of the most dense forest areas up there, only about 30% of it has ever been traveled by man. Most of it's inaccessible, through the mountains. I didn't know that, but who knows? If the hair DNA match teeth, then it's real. I don't know if they've ever done the DNA testing on the teeth or anything else. I see you. I was just watching. I watched the episode on Survivor Man where they found the hair, and then I wanted to learn more about the guy who was actually on there, who was talking to Survivor Man, Mr. Stout. So I looked him up online, and I found another documentary about Sasquatch, and how they turned over. It was him and 2 game wardens from Florida, I believe, who were on it, and they were talking about it, their experience and how they turned the hair over. They refused to give all the hair out or let anybody see all the hair. They'll give you 4 or 5 strands of it at a time, and that's it. And they've only done it 5 times. They've let people test the hair, and every time, all of them have come back to an unknown species. No lineage, DNA wise, to any other primate or known animal. And it's hair. It's real hair. They can confirm that it's real hair. And that's, like, because my daughter was watching it with me, and she's like, well, maybe it's a wig. Well, I'm sure they would know the difference between a wig, fake wig hair, and because it obviously doesn't break down like hair when they do a DNA test. So am I a creep out factor is off the scale with this talk? I'm trying to live through it instead of leaving chat. Oh my God, how can I be so freaked out by something they can't prove? I don't know. Drama must remain on the stage. I don't know. Soccer Mom of One, welcome to the stream and Merry Christmas, sweetheart. I hope you have a wonderful day today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll let you know right now, I'm going to be going for about another 3 minutes. And then I have to get inside because my little man is going to be waking up here shortly if he hasn't gotten up already. And we still have to do gifts and everything. And then I have to start, cooking and getting everything ready for today. I have 17, guests coming today, and I have to get cracking. Get everything in the ovens, get it going. And I still have to make all the rolls. I mean, I got the roll, all the dough is proofing in the glass bowls in the kitchen right now, but you still got to make each and every roll. Three-minute warning. Yeah, 2 minutes left. But all right, I just want to make sure that everybody understands. And here's exactly what I feel when it comes to Christmas. All right, it's not about giving and it's not about receiving. That is not what Christmas is about. Please do not feel that you have failed, your family or yourself or anyone. If you can't give and you can't, if you don't receive anything for, Christmas, it's not about that. It's never should have been about that. Society makes us want to believe that is, you had a wonderful Christmas because you got a lot of gifts. You had a wonderful Christmas because you gave a lot of gifts because they want you to consume. It's not about that. It's about spending time with someone that you love. If you can spend that time with someone you love, that is the most important thing that you can do today. If you can't spend the day with someone you love, send someone an email, send them a text message. Tell them today, I love you, and thank you for being part of my life. Thank you for being here. That is the Christmas that you need to remember. A lot of people out there have far less than you, me, and everyone else out there. There are people out there who don't even have the internet, who never will be able to tune in and watch me talk to you. Let's remember those people today. But really, everyone, have a wonderful Christmas. Stay safe out there. And I do not know if I'll be doing any more lives between now and New Year's. I'm not going anywhere for New Year's. I'm staying home for New Year's. This is going to be me and my wife and my son for New Year's. We might sit around and eat barbecue potato chips and, I don't know what we're going to do beyond that. We have no plans to do anything at all. So again, Merry Christmas, everybody, and Happy Holidays, or Christmas Festiva, in case you're a Seinfeld fan, or Hanukkah, or whatever you may celebrate. I wish you all the best. Thank you again to everybody who sent me the super chats today. I really do appreciate that. And to everybody who was able to join us today on the stream, thank you. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And again, don't want to forget, check your subscriber list. I've noticed myself this morning that 12 channels that I've been watching for the longest time, I was not a subscriber to, and I had to go back and resubscribe to those channels. So, make sure you log in and check your subscriber list today. I will see you all again soon. Stay safe out there and stay warm.